Irina Bokova, Director General of UNESCO, now joins us from here in the Congress Center. Thank you so much, ma'am, for talking to us. Let me start by asking you your response to India's horrific gang rape, something that has also found mention here in Davos, with Christine Lagarde actually dedicating a moment to the gang rape victim.
I think that what was impressive was the reaction, the response of all the Indian society. I think this is very important. In such cases, in women's rape, which sometimes are not spoken about, it is important that both women and men come out. Of course, legislative framework and justice system and police response is important. But I think what is very important is just the very fact of the unacceptability of a society. Unless you have the society on board, you will never solve this problem. And women should speak about, victims should speak about. There is a deeply embedded culture in many societies, not only in India, that women do not speak. They're ashamed to speak about it. We have to speak out all. And of course, the I would say overall non-violence activity and initiatives of the international community are crucial here.
Right, and that's what I'd like to touch upon, because on one hand we say that it's important for that awakening to take place in society, but the irony is that even after that one terrible incident, we've seen many more rapes making headlines. So the worry really is that how do we bring about those societal changes?
Well, I think it's a complex issue. It's an issue of I would say civil society. It's an issue of politicians speaking against it, the very strong political message. And then I think it's the very concrete judicial proceedings. These people have to be brought to justice, and then should be a very severe measures. I'm not very well aware of the specific legislative provisions of India, but I know, I have heard that there should be also some changes, that they have to be brought to justice, and they have to be brought with all the severity of the law. And it should be visible. People should know that they do not go unpunished.
Yes, that is absolutely critical in the justice system, and that's exactly what everybody has been talking about, speedy trial and bringing the culprits to book. Let me also talk to you about the overall issue of women at the workplace, ensuring more economic decision making on part of women, something that's also being discussed here at a session here in Davos. Do you think we're making significant progress in that direction?
I think we are. I think we are making in many countries, and statistics show that women increasingly occupy important positions in the workforce and in decision making in the economic area. But we are not yet there. First and foremost, we have to look at girls' education and women's education, the full potential. It's not just some elites that have to given the opportunity to acquire such achievements. The question of equity in girls' education is crucial. We know that in many societies, poverty, in most of the cases, impedes girls to go to school. Cultural differences also are, and considerations are deeply embedded in some societies. Minority women and girls are not allowed. And then all the issue, I would say, of violence against women, of security issues in many circumstances, in many cases also impede girls to go to school. So we have to start from the primary education, of enrollment of girls, of going to the adolescent girls. I think that the early marriages, and I know also that this is a problem for some communities in India, and I know that the government has ideas also in Parliament to adopt some new legislation in this cultural traditional practices should be abolished. So there are a number of issues that have to be resolved. I think we are moving. The overall I would say awareness about these issues become ever more acute, because we have seen that countries and societies that have advanced most are those who have invested in education, health and gender equality.
And what would you advise to Indian policy makers, given the fact that you're talking about women's education, about ending some of those practices like child marriages? What would be your advice to Indian policy makers at this stage?
Well, I know that there is a strong political will to resolve these issues. During my recent visit in November, I met the Minister of Human Resources, Raju, the State Minister, Mr. Terror. We discussed, I know that 2 years ago, a very important piece of legislation was adopted, the Education Act, Rights Act. I think these are, I would say, landmarks documents. Now the question is its implementation, and the strong political will of the government has to be matched also with the strengthening of institutions and strengthening of the deliveries. It should be a very inclusive process. It should be a process where you look at these issues from the point of view of economic growth, and of course of the equity and cohesion of society, of social justice. When you look at them this way, I think the combination also of private-public partnerships, of academia and government will make a difference.
And it's not just about education, but also about quality of education, ensuring that we're bringing in higher and higher standards of education. That's very critical too.
Absolutely. I think the big challenge nowadays in front of the education globally is the question of access, of equity, and of quality. If we have these, the combination of these three factors will make an education system, and apparently afterwards a political system, successful.
Irina Bokova, many thanks for joining us and sharing your thoughts.
Thank you very much to you also
Pleasure
for
to
the
talk to
interest.
you.
Thank you.
India's #1 news app just got even better. Download NDTV's new app. Fully optimized for Retina display. Full screen view. Faster response time. And Sudoku. NDTV's new iPad app. Download now.